All right, so you're probably wondering, what in the hell am I doing with a roll of stretch wrap? Well, it's pretty simple. No matter what baler you buy, no matter what crop you're baling, you're going to have broken bales. Whether their computers work really well for regulating the pressure going in and out of, the compression chamber. But when you get into super dry hay, for some reason, your pressures just climb so high. With a little baler, it's the opposite. With wet hay, you actually have to back the springs off. But in super dry hay, that baler just really wants to squeeze the ever-loving crap out of this hay. And because we've had a wet year, what we've had to do is we've had to ted a lot of hay. And I hate tedding hay. I really do. And I thank Peckway for sending me that TT6101 6-star tedder. Works wonderfully. I know a lot of guys are like, oh, it doesn't do an even job. Well, if you were doing the hay that I'm doing, it does an awesome job. If you get into lighter hay, it does a perfect job. But you really, for 3-4 ton to the acre dry matter hay, 3 to 4 ton dry matter hay, you're going to have to get out there and ted it a couple of times to get a nice even spread on it. I don't know any tedder out there that's going to do it perfectly the first time around. But anyways, Peckway, thank you very much for the opportunity to try out your tedder, rake, and lime spreader, fertilizer spreader. I'm in love with all that stuff. But anyway, this field was tedded out, and it was only tedded once. And what happened is, because it was only tedded once, and this was like that 4 ton to the acre stuff. I mean, this baler was shitting 4 bales per windrow across a 20-acre field. I mean, it was unbelievable how much hay was coming out of this thing. And it was uneven going into the baler because of the uneven windrows that were being raked together. So unless you're perfect, which you're not going to be perfect, when you ted it out, you're going to have thin spots in the middle of the, between windrows, and then where the windrows, where the mower had actually laid the hay down, it's going to be a lot thicker. So you still have these issues. You're going to have to swerve a lot more, and sometimes it's just impossible. Like these fields, it was impossible to get a square bale to come out of there, which caused a rather unprecedented amount of broken strings on these bales. But we had 4 bales that were broken completely, and 4 bales that were broken with 3 strings, that had only 3 strings holding it together. I believe this particular bale had 4 strings, but 1 string was just so far off the side it was not even worth bothering with. So what we did do is we take stretch wrap. Now, stretch wrap is really springy stuff. It's 3 mil stretch. I think it's 3 mil stretch wrap. This might be 1 mil stretch wrap. It's really thin. But anyway, it has a lot of spring tension to it. And me and Timothy, we just kind of handed this off. He did 3 rounds, I did 3 or 4 rounds, or he did 4 rounds, I did 3 rounds. It didn't matter. We do about 6 to 8 rounds around the bale, and that gives it enough tension to hold the damn thing together. I've tried string, pick up the string off the ground, tie it together, pull it tight. You just don't get the tension that you do with the stretch wrap. So this can be a savior on good hay, mulch hay, or any kind of hay. I mean, you're not going to do this with a stretch wrap machine after you fix it. You're just going to have to tear it apart, spread it out, and rebale it, which is an absolute nightmare. If you have never done this, you don't know what I'm talking about. But to rebale a broken bale of hay, it really takes a loader, to go spread it out, because you can't climb over that bale with the baler tractor. It does damage to steps. I'm talking through experience here. You can destroy steps and have all kinds of other issues going on. It's just a bad situation. So I have found that if you can fix them. If you can get them on a truck, they'll take them. It doesn't matter what the package looks like. A ton is a ton. And, a lot of people are like, oh, my God, well, you just cut it apart and rebale it. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to destroy a tedder trying to ted it out. That's not going to work. I'm not going to, this is just the best way that I have come up with to fix this. Actually, my father suggested it. And I figured, well, it's worth a try. Anything's worth a try, because this bale's worth $70. So, you know, if you got a $70 bale of mulch hay, fix it. Get it on the truck. You know, if you tear it apart, you risk breaking your baler, you risk, wrapping twine around your pickup, and everybody knows that no matter what you do, you're going to get twine wrapped around your pickup because you can never find that sixth string. But your pickup will. That pickup will find it every single time. So anyway, this is just some of the procedures that we do on a daily basis. Well, not a daily basis, but for the most part, the 650-pound notch strength twine that I'm running in the Krone baler has been perfect. It's just been perfect. I'm really happy with it. And, it's just, thanks to Messick's that I got that twine. I was thinking about going to the 700-pound notch strength next year, but there's no need for it because 1,550 to 1,600-pound averages on the bales is more than enough to go down the road with. Anyways, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video.
These are forgotten bales from last year.
The forgotten bale.
The forgotten belly button. You ever see one? What are you doing? Got bug-eye glasses on? They look pretty good for being forgotten. I bought this stuff last year from the guy, and this year he comes back and he's like, hey, I got some more hay for you, but I'd really kind of like you to get the old stuff off first. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I ain't got no old hay there. He says, yeah, there's like 20 bales. Well, just so happens there's a truckload, a semi-load really. 29 bales. So, looks a little furry on the top, but they'll go. I'll be able to funnel those in. Mr. Tim's up to something, trying to steal my sun chips. But anyway, yeah, so there it is. There's an old barn over there. Hey, there's an old barn. You want to go in it real quick? Come on, you bum. Where's your sense of adventure? I put high calcium lime on the ground here this morning. So, he spent some money. That shit's like $60, $62 a ton. Looks like a couple ton to the acre, really. Ah, my goodness, an old Gale unloading wagon. When I was a kid, we had these. Well, this is actually newer than what we had. We had old ones. Ours might have been at 900, but we didn't have roofs on them. And it looks like, oh yeah, this one's a lot newer than what we had.
Gale?
Yeah, the Gale. It's a lot newer than what we had.
What is that, a baler?
This? No. It's an unloading wagon. It's had oats in it. I actually have an old Gale sign, the one on the porch. My grandfather used to be a Gale dealer. Huh?
They're the ones.
Yep. He put these in here, the only good part in the roof.
Oh, there's no treasure here.
There's treasures. There's always treasures. Well, it's newer than what we had, but it ain't much newer. We got treasures. Look at that groundhog hole. Fall in there, you break your neck. This one's actually in really good shape for its age. Yeah. And
McCormick.
Yeah, there's an old grain drill over here. I should pull this out. Watch, there's nails on this wood, so don't step on them.
More booby traps.
This one actually had a grass seed hoppers on it too. Look at that. Those are the old ones. This is your fertilizer. Fertilizer sowing chart for 7-inch drill, pounds to the acre. And it obviously was never used with fertilizer or it would be rotten. These things rotted out. But look at this. Here's a treasure. Check that out. Always a good pair of...
That's stealing.
I'm not stealing shit, you. Yeah, so you would put your grass seed down in here, and the grass seed would fall out the bottom. Here's the little tubes. So you would use Timothy or orchard grass there. Oh, that tire's in good shape. She's good for another 100,000.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is a Model 10, 16 by 7. So it's a 16 hoe, 7-inch space. That's what that means. And they even took the chain off. This is actually in pretty decent shape for what it is. There's another grass seed hopper.
Wow.
Well, if there were options on these things, I think this one's loaded. Well, let's see, what does it got here? It says indicator setting, alfalfa, Alsek or white clover, Canadian bluegrass, canary grass, Hungarian mullet, Johnson grass, Lespedeza, red top, sandlove grass, sweet and red clover, Timothy, and yellow mustard. Oh my lord, yellow mustard. That's a weed, man. But not really. Back when They used to, I guess they still do, Goulding's mustard. This was some kind of asphalt they put down. So if that's the chart for that, what's the chart? This is the fertilizer hopper. This is the grain chart: wheat, oats, barley, beans, flax, alfalfa, beets, millet, Sudan grass, large peas, small peas, rice, and ensilage corn.
Rice too?
Yeah, rice and ensilage corn.
Nice.
Yeah, rice too. That's your favorite staple food, isn't it? It's a staple food. So, if they have a chart, I'm still a little confused as to what the, here we go. This is for different grasses.
Oh, wow.
This is for, these are for the larger seed grasses. So you got red fescue, brome grass, western wheatgrass, Sudan grass, perennial ryegrass, orchard grass, and reed canary grass. So that's what you get there. So I'd have to say that this drill, in the shape that it's in, which it is in pretty damn nice shape. This is to drop the fertilizer. If you were going to dump it, I would think you drop that out. And, you know, probably if somebody took some old crankcase oil and dumped it in this thing, it would probably be usable. This would be pretty awesome to pull behind, say, the old 720 or the Farmall M. Why not? Take the Farmall M or the 450. I don't know. Does anybody know what year this was made? This one was made in Canada, by the way. It's serial number 11419. Huh?
That's done.
He's done?
Yep.
Alright, so we're done, you know, fooling around in the barn. It's always fun to do stuff like this. He really needs to fix the roof, though. There's a big hole in it. This is the same tongue. I had one of these. This is the same gear. What is it, 1020? I think it is a 1020. Anyway, there she goes. There she goes. There she goes again. Right? Left. They call this Filipino grass. You fall in the grass, I have to rescue you. Filipino grass. Filipino grass. Or goose grass. Pewee grass. Okay, there it is. There she goes.
Oh my God, that's Bales.
You gotta take a bite.
Don't snap on me.
Yeah.
No.
He's thinking about it.